Hi folks, Dave Waring here again with FitSmallBusiness.com and today's lesson of the day. In our last video, we continued our series on how to start a successful business with a look at how to choose a partner for your business. In today's lesson, we're going to continue that series with a look at one of the most important parts of a successful business partnership, the partnership agreement. So let's get started. A partnership agreement serves many purposes, two of the most important of which are getting everyone on the same page about dispute resolution and business structure. Every relationship has disagreements, and this is especially true in relationships where lots of decisions have to be made. A carefully crafted partnership agreement allows you to outline how disputes are going to be handled ahead of time instead of in the heat of the moment. The process of putting together a partnership agreement also forces everyone to think about and get on the same page about how the business is going to be structured and run from the beginning. This minimizes misunderstandings down the road and hopefully prevents many issues from occurring at all. Should you use a lawyer to put together your partnership agreement? If you can afford it, it's almost always a good idea to have an attorney involved with your business agreements. However, most attorneys are going to bill you by the hour and likely do not have the same level of knowledge about your partners that you do. Because of this, it's always better to have a good outline of what you want in the agreement before speaking to a lawyer. If you cannot afford an attorney, then I've linked to a resource page in the description section of this video, which includes some free templates. Here's an overview of the elements that every partnership agreement should contain. The name of the company and any other names that the company will be operating under. A statement of the company's purpose, which generally you want to keep fairly broad so you have the flexibility to adapt. Responsibilities. Decide who's going to be responsible for which parts of the business. As discussed in our video on how to find the right business partner, at a minimum you need a partner involved with delivering your product and/or service, selling and marketing, finances, and management. List out any other areas that need to be covered, and decide who is going to be broadly responsible for those areas. How will the workload be shared? Answer the following questions. Are partners expected to work set hours? Does one partner plan on working more or less than the other partners? How much vacation is allowed? Will this be a full-time role for each partner, or are partners allowed to conduct other types of business outside the partnership? If so, then what other types of business are they allowed to conduct? Next, you want to determine what each partner is bringing to the business in terms of cash investment, physical property, and intellectual or other types of property. Once you've listed everything out, you'll want to discuss what restrictions, if any, there are on those assets. Compensation. This section should answer the following questions. Will partners receive a salary? If so, how much and when? If a partner is taking less salary initially, will this be made up in the future? Do you plan on reinvesting profits back into the business? If so, at what point do you plan on taking out profits? How and when will profits be divided up amongst the owners? If this is based on ownership, see the next step. How will losses be handled? Now that you've decided on responsibilities, workloads, and which partners are contributing what to the business, you can come to an agreement on how ownership is going to be shared in the business. I've included two resources for how to cover ownership splits in the resources link in the description of this video. Business authority. This section should answer the following questions. Contracts. Does each partner have the authority to sign contracts on behalf of the business? Debt. Is the business going to have a credit line? Keep in mind that, depending on the business structure that you choose, each partner may be personally liable for this. Spending. Does a partner have the ability to make purchases without consulting the other partners? Generally, there is a limit that is set in the agreement, above which point the partner must obtain permission from the other partners. Partner death or disability. What happens if a partner dies or becomes unable to participate at the same level because of a disability? Most business owners probably do not want their deceased partner's heirs to be their new business partners. To prevent these types of issues, a buy-sell agreement should be included. I've included a resource for crafting buy-sell agreements on the resources page, which is linked to in the description of this video. Partner exit. Answer the following questions. What happens if a partner wants to leave the partnership and pursue other interests? Under what circumstances can a partner be forced to leave the business? Partner disputes. Being able to discuss and come to an agreement on the differences of opinion that will arise in any business is a must for any good partnership. However, there will be times in even the best partnerships where you're not able to come to an agreement on a specific topic. Here are some ways that can be handled. The CEO has the final say. One partner has the final say on a particular part of the business. For example, on hiring and firing disputes, it may be the CEO. For product development disputes, the partner who is in charge of product may have the final say. A vote based on ownership. Partners agree to use an outside mentor to resolve disputes. Partners agree to use an outside advisory board. Other more formal options are mediation, arbitration, and then finally litigation. Under what circumstances can the business be sold? This likely goes back to the buy-sell agreement. That's our video for today. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them in the comments section below. Also be sure to stay tuned for the next video in our series on how to start a business, where we will discuss how to choose a legal structure for your business. For more free advice on how to start and run a successful small business, be sure to visit us at fitsmallbusiness.com today. Thanks for watching.